Hello, and welcome to the Angry Sniper 4.0 Utilities. But hey, so, yes, utilities. The question which will be on all of our tongues, is what should we be choosing? What is good? What isn't? I think things are very much in flux for our spec at the moment. Not just spec, but probably for our class as a whole. Because there have been some changes, and it's not entirely clear which we should use. So let's jump straight into it, So what are the changes? The established range is no longer in skillful, it's in masterful, creating a huge problem for the masterful and heroic section. And it's been switched with calculated pursuit, which is an old skill from pre 3.0 days from engineering. So I've actually used this one myself previously, and it's in a better position. It's probably where it was never a masterful skill in the first place, but then neither is Counter Strike. No. It's, of all the skills they could switch that out with is anyway. Going off topic. So that is one change right there. We have got 3 new utilities, one in each section, and the first one is this one, pulse screen. You can read your tooltip yourself. This is one which I do actually plan on taking, because after ballistic dampers, it is probably the next most useful thing to choose from. The new utility on masterful is this one, lumbering impact. Again, you can read the tooltip yourself. Now, Shattershot does not have a cooldown. So, yeah, think about that. I mean, Shattershot lasts for 10 seconds. So you can have a 50% slow from Shattershot in over 10 seconds. It's worth considering. And over prepared reduces our insane 3-minute cooldown on our brand new skill by 30 whole seconds. So those are the changes. I'll talk more about those again when we come to it, but the first thing is, in my 3.0 utility vid I did, I said the skills which I felt were a must-have, and I plan to do the same thing here. So what are the skills which, for me, I must have, that I will not change? Those are ballistic dampers. Won't come to any surprise whatsoever. The next one, for me, this is where things will start to be, ooh, are you sure? The established range. Now, the knockback you get on the last tick or series of shots, because our cooldown on series of shots is 9 seconds, which is quicker than the other 2 specs. It saved my bacon so many times. I'm not doing without it. It's as simple as that. And then that little 50% speed boost when you shiv someone. That again is so useful. It might not seem much, but it has helped me to kind of what I tend to do is kind of sometimes debilitate if my roll is off cooldown, which does happen sometimes. Debilitate, then shiv quickly as I'm getting up and moving. It enables me to get away. It's handy, There's no way I'm not choosing it. It's that simple. I steadfastly refuse. I won't be doing it. Then the third and final one skill out of all of these, which I feel is a must-have, is seek cover. Now, there's a few reasons for this. We have got a reset on entrench again. Now, pre 3.0, the way I used entrench before is I had an entrench I can burn, because in the back of my head I know if my Imperial preparation, my reset on entrench is available, if I need an oh shit, if I get myself into an oh shit situation, I have got a reset on entrench that I can use. So that means you can take advantage of that. Seek cover combined with what Imperial preparation does on resetting entrench makes this even more useful. The fact that we get a 50% speed boost, doing entrench is it's the whole thing. I'm not doing without it. There's just no way. Mobility is a key thing of this 4.0 expansion. This particular skill helps us to be mobile. And engineering is a mobile spec, if you play it right. So for me, it might be controversial in some people's eyes, but for me, it's kind of, there's no way I am not choosing ballistic dampers, seek cover, and re-establish range. Those are my 3 must-have skills. Whatever else I choose, I'm going to have to build it around those. Is if I have to lose one of these, the one I'll be losing is seek cover. So my 3 most important skills I won't be choosing is ballistic dampers, seek cover, and re-establish range. But if push came to shove, I'd be keeping re-established range and ballistic dampers. But I'm at this particular moment in time, I'm not prepared to sacrifice those 3. So, with all that said, let's look at the others. Skillful. I still don't like most of these. The most useless is probably this one. It's the way to look at these skillful ones in one respect is how useful are they over, why would you choose it over some of the others? And for me, I would choose flash powder, pulse screen, calculator pursuits, imperial efficiency, snapshots, and even vital regulators over the cover screen. It is the most useless utility in skillful, so I just would not go there. Snapshots. Now, there is always a value in having an instant skill, and I remember back in my marksman days, when you had that instant thing, I did make good use of that. So it has got some use, and I'm not saying it's useless, but it's not one for me I would tend to do. It's just not. I may give it a try later on, but it's not on my list of priorities to choose at the moment, Vital regulators, there's been some discussion about this in my guild's chat, just yesterday, in fact. Somebody asked a question, which sparked a conversation, in full PvP gear, we now have 70,000 health. So that means 700 health every 3 seconds. So is that more useful than what it was? Possibly, and it needs to be tested. But my thinking behind this is we've got more health, we hit harder, so if people are dealing out bigger hits, is this still as useful? Yes, it might be giving us, we got more health, that means it's healing more, but then we're getting damaged a lot more as well. So it's kind of offsets. So for that, it's something I think needs to be tested properly, but at this stage, again, it's, yeah, kind of thing, Now, flash powder, that's actually gone down in my eyes. It's the one I used to choose because I didn't really like any of the others. Um, it's actually gone down because of these two, essentially. And I hate to say this, because our new 64 skill gives us a 15% critical chance to AoE attacks, I can no longer ignore Imperial efficiency. I would love to see this particular utility taken out. I do not think it's needed at all. I just don't like suppressive fire. There's a use for it. It comes in handy. When you need an extra AoE skill, bearing in mind we've already got two, a third one can come in handy. So the extra damage it does, combined with that, of course it's going to be useful. Is without a doubt. And it's definitely better than any of these four. And I might end up choosing it myself. But the reason I don't like suppressive fire is, say I've got a target here, that's the one I've been killing, but I need to put an AoE skill down here. I've already got Plasma Probe here, which I don't want. Say for instance there's a target on my healer, and I've put the Plasma Probe down to try and help my healer in terms of slowing down, Or I've got Orbital Strike over here, which is interrupting, or over here. So I need suppressive fire. If you've got a target selected over here, where the mouse is, hey, and you hit suppressive fire, it will automatically target your target. In order to place it over here, you have got to remember to press escape to clear your target, and then you can put it down. It's having to do that extra button to clear. I know you can, there's an option in the preferences where you can make it so you can just click, say, anywhere here, which will clear. I don't choose that particular interface option because quite often it means I would accidentally lose my target when I didn't want to. So that, in a nutshell, that is why I don't like suppressive fire. Yeah, I find it's clunky because of that. If it worked in the same way where you had to double tap it, yeah, to in the same way you can Orbital Strike and Plasma Probe to put it on your target, hey, that would not be a problem. I think it'd be a great addition to the skill, and I'd probably use it a lot more than I do. But yeah, Imperial efficiency, I would consider I said just yesterday in the guild chat that I wouldn't choose Imperial efficiency on principle, and I'm still there. To be honest, I think I'd much rather choose these two over than that. But then again, I see the value. It has got value. Personally, I've got an internal battle about this one or not. Would I really use that one? I don't think I would. So I might end up, although I can't. Oh, I don't like this one. It is. That may end up being what I choose because I feel that's going to be handy. I can see some use for that. I really can. It's certainly better than a lot of these. So in a sense, why wouldn't I choose it? Well, for me, calculated pursuit, I don't really need. I don't need it. Yeah. So that's my thoughts about the skillful things, and that could be what may end up. Although I, I don't like that one. That is like that may end up being what I end up going for. Now, Masterful, I've already got these selected because that's my must-haves, you know. Which does present a problem going forwards. Now, this is where it starts to get dicey. Historically, I've always chosen a series of snares. And I will start out using a series of snares. But there is another option you can choose. This one. And I am still talking about Masterful, by the way. Yeah. Have a look at the tooltip there. Shatter Shot is an instant skill. It's got no cooldown, so you can keep on putting it on, and it lasts for 10 seconds. So Shatter Shot, with this particular skill, is going to increase the duration for 15 seconds. So if you choose this one, Deliberating Shots, and combine it with Lumbering Impact, it means you've got a 15-second slow on the target. You know, it slows it down by 50%. And my guildmates have turned around and said they like this. It renders series of snares useless. I'm undecided about that. I can see their anger on it, and I can see the use, and I'm gonna have to try it out myself. I'm 50-50 on it, essentially. I'm still a fan of series of snares, and the reason for that is, in one respect, it's a bit similar to suppressive fire. The way I don't like the way that if I've got someone over here targeted, you know, I've got to press another bloody button, escape, to clear my target to actually put it, but I want to put it. There's been so many situations, and I've got some clips I could show you from my Agent Practical days, which sums it up really well. I was trying to place it over here, but because of the way it bloody well works, it's clunky to use. If you have not got saves or snares, it is good for me because it slows the person down as you're attacking someone. It's that combination of those two specific points, damage and slowing at the same time, combined with that knockback. Having to do Shatter Shot, it adds a new skill, so it makes the flow of my playstyle, the flow of the game for me, more clunky. And I'm going to have to give it some serious... I'm going to have to play it. I plan to try different builds. I'll try one build for a good couple of weeks, because you're not going to be able to tell just for, say, a couple of days, oh great, this works fine. I want to test it over a good couple of weeks, and that's what I'll be doing. So, but I'll be starting off with a series of snares. So this could be an extremely valid build for me going forwards. This could be my final build. But then it could be something else. It could be a series of snares, and then I've got a choice of choosing something from here, or choosing, you know, one of those. I mean, something else which might be worth considering. Yes, it increases the duration by Shatter Shot by 5 seconds, and you have got that the 75% slow on Leg Shot. But Leg Shot is a 15-second cooldown. So that 75% after Leg Shot wears off for 3 seconds. Yes, obviously I can see the use for that. But you could possibly combine, you could choose that one as well. So not only do you have the slow on series of shots, but you can have, if you would choose, this is another particular build which I will be testing. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. Hadn't moved for so long. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah. So this is one of the builds which I do plan on using, testing for a couple of weeks, because having the slow on saves of shots, which is 80%, don't forget, over 3 seconds, and it's a progressive slow, so they actually get slowed for the cast time of series of shots, which is 3 seconds. So that's a 6-second slow on top of that. Plus, you can use that to slow another target, or it's a viable build, I think. It's something to test and go forwards. I don't like the idea of getting rid of series of snares completely. I just don't. But it's possible. There's a variety of different builds we can use, essentially. So that's kind of the end builds. I'll probably skip forward a bit more, but let me talk about some of the best. Counter-Strike, that is completely useless from a PvP aspect. It's more... I'm going to contradict myself here. It's more useful than it was because countermeasures, look at the tooltip, gets a reset in Imperial Preparation. So that means we can have 2 purges. But here's the other thing. Look at the tooltip on the covered escape. Purging movement impairing effects. This purges every 20 seconds. So the way I think of it, this completely negates any value in Counter-Strike. It's just not needed. There's no way in hell you should be choosing this over anything else in the Masterful, because Masterful has some good stuff in it. Reduces the cooldown of leg shot by 3 seconds. Well, reducing the cooldown of leg shots, which is 15 seconds to say 12 seconds, with that one to, with the movement impairing, it's still not one I would choose. Not over. I would not choose that one. Say I do go for this, for the slow on the shatter shot. It means I'd have to lose one of these, and there's just no way in hell I'll be doing that. It's kind of, that is not good enough for me to lose seek cover. It's just, I won't be doing it, so I won't be choosing that. Augmented shields, I still like this one, but again, it's a matter which, if I choose, well, it doesn't matter. If I choose this one, I suppose then I could choose it, but then I wouldn't choose that one, because I actually favour crippling diversion and over-prepared. And even then, it means, again, I would not lose seek cover for that, And it's the same for this one, Stroke of Genius, for exactly the same reasons. This one, however, Pillbox Sniper, this is a very good skill. Very good. And I am certainly going to miss it. It is a very strong contender, and I would love to find a build to make it part of my, a valid build. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. I love Pillbox Sniper. This is another build I will be testing to see how useful. Yes, regarding the slows, but there's a lot of slow there's loads of ways to like remove slow in this game, especially with the extra mobility. So I have got a general concern about taking this. I'm missing out on the cooldowns. So this is another build which I do plan to test over the course of a good week or so, you know. Um, so I think this is another possible build. So that's the masterful ones. Now, heroic. I've already explained about deliberating shots. I think this is much more useful than it used to be. I still like crippling diversion. In order to get the most out of diversion, you need this. For me, it's as simple as that. But you can put plasma probe down, which has a 70% slow on it, and then put diversion immediately on top of that. You know, it's a bit more clunky, but given the situation with the utilities, it's not something I planned to choose. I've given you sample examples of builds which I plan to test. None of them feature crippling diversion. Siege bunker. It's an age-old question. I mean, 60% AoE damage taken. Of course, that's handy. I see the value in it, don't get me wrong. But for me, it's still not as... I'm going to have to test it. I'm going to have to figure... I haven't quite figured this one out yet. I'm thinking of my own play style. But I've got to figure out a reason why I would choose this over everything else, and I haven't really got there yet. So it's not a utility I'm dismissing. I'm just not there yet, you know. Deployed shields, no, not really. Didn't do anything for me. I mean, that's a 3-minute cooldown. It's kind of no way. Why would I choose to reduce that by 30 seconds when I can reduce Imperial Preparation by 30 seconds? There's just no comparison. There's no way in hell that you should be choosing that one over this one. So this is pretty much useless. It's not useless per se, but it's pretty much useless. Yeah, no. This one doesn't... It's just not good enough. But these do. These are the two strongest contenders for me, even over this one. And honestly, but okay, these three are the three strongest contenders. So these are the three which you should be trying to make use of: series of snares, deliberating shots, and over prepared. The last one is this one: hold your ground. Again, no, I mean, shield probe. Yeah, no, it's... If you want to help out shield probe and cover pulse, then choose over prepared. It's kind of... So that's pretty much useless as well. So, yeah, that's essentially how I feel about utilities, and that's... I've got no idea how long this vid has been, but I guess it's going to be pretty long. So I apologise for that. So in terms of what builds, there's a lot of different builds you can choose from, and there's a lot which needs to be tested. At the end of the day, no matter what build you choose, the most important thing to remember is your own personal play style has got to be fun. You have got to enjoy it. What works for you might not necessarily work for someone else. There might be a build out there which is kind of the must-have to be the most effective. But if you don't have as much fun using it, then that's not the build for you. So, you've heard me say several times during this vid, there's a few builds which I plan to test over the course of a couple of weeks, and that would be my top advice, really. When you've got a build, don't just play it for a day. Because you could have one of those days where the opposition is just awful, and that's no basis to confirm either way whether that build is for you or not. Do it over the course of a week, 2 weeks, before you make your final decision on that build. Because that is precisely what I'll be doing. And with that said, keep sniping, have fun, and 4.0 is finally on us. And I love it, I've got to say. The story, fantastic. Have fun. See you.